perfect start. Ronald rocking the all blue. Followed by the trademark colors behind him of Mark Reinhardt. Urbain right behind him. Ronald Völker behind him. Great start here.
Hello everybody and welcome to our presentation video of the all-new Mugen Seiki MTC-3 touring car, which we have here on the table. It's a pre-production car which Sir and Sparbier used to win 2 ETS races and also the famous TITC race in Bangkok, Thailand, where he won the 13.5 stock open brushless class. Ronald, the car here on the table, it looks fantastic. It's a brand new car. What will the customers see from the old MTC-2R in this car kit?
The transmission is basically the same as the MTC-2R. The diff, the spool, the center pulley stay the same. The drive shafts and the front and rear drive shafts are the same as well. They're just the different bearings inside the hubs. Otherwise, the battery holder and the 50-gram shorty battery weight and certain turnbuckles are the same, but that's basically it.
Yeah, it's not a lot, I would say. It's not a lot. The car looks completely different, so Robert has done a good job, I think.
He did an amazing job to build us this beast.
Okay, so this is the brand new car here on the table, and we will present you all the new details and the highlights now in the following video, and we hope that you will enjoy watching it. Yeah, so then we start with the chassis first. Ronald, what can you tell us about the chassis of the MTC-3?
It's just a 1.5 millimeter aluminium. So it's quite thin, but the good part is that you can actually use standard screws. You don't need a special 110-degree screws from certain manufacturers. So can you use the standard steel screws in the kit, or if you want to use titanium screws is also fine. But you don't need to spend anything extra.
Yeah, what we can see when we look onto the chassis from above, that it looks a little bit shorter in the rear.
Yes, it's short and light in the rear to remove the weight from like too far in front of the car or too far back in the car, and the car will have a less bottoming on bumpy tracks, on high speed. So as you can see, normally there's a lot of touching on the rear of the chassis. Yeah. So with this, it's just way less.
Okay, so maybe some customers will now ask the question why there is no carbon fiber option, because I think the car kit will only come with this aluminum chassis.
Yes, there's no need of a carbon. It's a carbon chassis is usually 2 or 2.25 millimeter thick, but with a 1.5 millimeter chassis and the option with all the different kind of flex and different top decks, you can achieve basically everything for low and high grip. So an aluminum chassis sounds quite hard for many people, especially in the past, but a 1.5 millimeter makes it actually soft again, so it's probably something in between, and with all the setup options with the flex, you don't need to worry about a carbon chassis since the center of gravity is lower.
Yeah, so it means when the chassis is only 1.5, the center of gravity will go down by 0.7, is that correct? Almost?
Yeah, if the carbon chassis is 2.2 or 2.25, it goes down by 0.75. And you benefit from then in every area, basically.
Okay, so MTC-3 will come with the 1.5 aluminum chassis, and the next thing we want to talk about is the motor mount.
The motor mount is designed very low, so also on purpose of lower center of gravity. The top decks are angled, which means they're also sitting very low in the car. The spur gear, therefore, is also smaller, in a range of 80 to 96 for 64 pitch, which means the motor moves a bit forward, which was also the reason to do it, to have the weight balance a bit achieved differently compared to the previous car. And the option that you can have the spur gear height adjustable is something also unique, especially spur gears for stock racing. They're usually small and sitting very high in the car, but with the MTC-3 you can have the spur gear as low as possible at any circumstances, for modified, for stock, so it's also sitting at the lowest point.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the transmission. We have already heard from you in the intro that the car is featuring the same spool, differential, drive shafts, and also the same center pulley. What is with the drive belts in the car kit?
The belts are by length the same as before, but in the kit this time are the A2245 bundle belts, which are stronger and better.
Yeah.
So this is also improvement to the previous kit. You have also better equipment out of the box.
Okay, yeah, what else can you tell us about the drivetrain? Because also about maybe the height of the differentials in the spool and removing top decks and stuff like that.
The height of the different spool is also different. With the standard diff cams, also from the old kit, you can use them. The different spool is sitting higher, and with the optional MSE diff cams, you have now the old MTC2 position. So
Okay.
everything went up and higher. So you have also a better performance when you start with a high position. And at the same time, the diff and spool change is super quick now. If you remove the top decks and the spool, you get the diff out easily, while the upper arms in front and rear, they are always attached on the car. They will never fall out when you change your spool or diff, which you will see later on.
So that means that it's quite more easy to work on the car, changing diffs and spools. That sounds like a good improvement. And yeah, as you said before, we will show the upper arm stuff later during the video. These were some very interesting topics about the transmission. When we're looking onto the suspension of the MTC3, what can you tell us about the new components suspension-wise?
The lower arms are more durable. They're also newly designed. And the upper arms have a nice feature. You can adjust by height with opening the screws on the side, which is super quick and easy to make a roll center or camber gain change. And you can easily read it on the print on the bulkheads.
Yeah.
To adjust the certain height position on every part of the car, front, rear. Or you can make anti-dive or something. And this is something which is brand new. I think no one else has this. And at the same time, this means the diff and spool won't be affected to remove it out of the car, as this was a problem in general that you have to spend more time than necessary.
So you can change the height of the inner camber links more quick, and you don't need to work with all these small shims anymore, because you just can move it upwards and downwards to a position you like.
Exactly. There's no more shims for the upper arms on the inside.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
Which is which definitely sounds crazy, and it's making that part to work on very easy.
Yeah, another thing I noticed when I look on the car is the new position of the anti-roll bar. It looks very flat on the chassis.
It's as low as it could be. It doesn't touch on the ground, but it's mounted at the lowest possible position. This means the belts in front and rear run over the sway bar, and if you want to change a belt, you don't need to take out the sway bar as you have to do it with the MTC2. So this is also a great benefit of working quick on the car.
Yeah, so this is all about the new suspension, which sounds like it's very easy to work on the new car when you have to change your suspension settings. Okay, so when I look onto the shocks here installed in the car, I can notice that they are very, very, very short, and that the position has also moved a little bit more to the center of the car.
Yeah, they're maximum short, I would say.
Yeah.
You have also linear and progressive springs, like with the previous kits. But at this moment, there's also only possible to run Mugen springs. There's nothing shorter on the market. I think it's 50mm or less now. And this makes also a new look to have it very short under the upper arms.
Yeah, and I also can see some laser engravements here on the upper shock holders. Is it for adjusting something?
Yeah, there's also a quick adjustment on the shock position on top. You don't use shims as well, as the same as on the upper arms.
Okay.
You open a M2 screw and you can slide up and down. You have two different holes and you have a range of 6mm, so you definitely find the right shock position very quick.
Okay, this is another highlight where you don't need shims anymore, the same as on the upper arms. So yeah, it sounds like it's very easy to work on these shock position settings then. What about the shock towers, Ronald? They are also still active, or?
Yeah, as with the MTC-3R, the shock towers they can be active or fixed. So you have the option with one screw to have it active, or with 2 screws to have it fixed. Everything is within the kit, and they are this time mounted directly to the bulkhead, so you don't have to worry about an extra screw in the chassis.
Okay.
And also for the shock position, I didn't mention this. There's a print on the shock tower, on the shock holder,
Okay.
where you can easily see the height of it.
Okay, so all new shock package, super low shocks, very short springs, and yeah, very good range of adjustments here with the shock package on the new MTC-3 touring car. The steering of the car is also brand new. I can see the single unit in the center with a single bell crank steering arm and also a very tiny servo mount.
Yes, this is also a new steering unit. You can still adjust the Ackermann in 2 positions, forward and rearwards. Also there's an optional steering arm, which we can talk later about. And there's no servo horn included, but I recommend a servo horn length about 15 or 16 millimeters. The manual also says 17, so I think I wouldn't go higher than 17, because the car is really, with a low center of gravity, reacts quite quick.
Okay.
And there's no need of having a high servo horn, because with a lower servo horn you can be also even more precise. And there's something also I noticed feels really great on the track.
So another thing I can notice when I look on the car here on the table is that the body posts, they seem to have a different position now.
Yes, the body posts are far more to the outside and front and rear of the car. At the same time, they are also eccentric, so you can choose between different mounting positions,
Okay.
according to how the shell is designed. If you have like some areas where it's a bit difficult to do the holes or anything else which is disturbing, and the width gives also a bit more stability.
Okay, so you can change these positions of the body posts when you're changing also body shell brands from maybe from Extreme or Zoo Racing or Blitz or whatever, and when the body requires a different hold position, you just can use the eccentric body posts to find the perfect position then.
Yeah, this is also interesting if you not only run touring cars, if you run different kind of classes worldwide.
Yes. Okay.
And there are many shells out there, so you can try to maximize what is suitable for certain body shells.
Yeah, and in general there are 3 different versions in the kit to mount the body shell, especially in the rear.
Yes, there are 3 different versions in the rear. You have the classic vertical, but also horizontal,
Yeah.
and like a rear mount system similar to what RC Maker offered. So you have 3 different in the kit, so you can basically find what you prefer the most.
Okay.
If you like, for example, the rear wing mount, you can get there multiple for your body shells if you do like it.
Yeah.
But also vertical or the horizontal position is possible, and it's also eccentric with a few millimeter of a gap where you can play when you have again certain body shells which need a bit more clearance.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty cool package when you have all these different things already in the car kit, so you can use it to fine-tune the car perfectly and to use all the different body shells, not only touring car, also GT bodies and maybe LMH bodies, everything which is in style around the globe right now. What I can see from the old MTC-3R are these 2 plastic parts here in the center of the car, these old body stoppers.
Yes, our previous body stoppers are now body support, and body support is there to have the especially thin body shells a bit more stable in high speed or windy track conditions, and usually this is an option part. But it's also included in the kit, and it can be used like I said, especially in modified or windy conditions. It would be also fine to use it for stock. You would just need to put some foam on the body shell, and there you go. And now the body stopper before is used as a body support. We have the new body stopper with the M2 screw, not even M2.5 or M3. It's a tiny M2 screw, since this is also one of the highest position in the car. So
yeah, it's crazy.
the center of gravity really kicks in.
Yeah, so these are all the different body mounting positions, body supports here on the MTC3. Super interesting. I think this will suit all the different demands out there. And now I think we can talk a little bit about option parts and tools and everything else which we already know about the MTC3. Okay, Ronald, when customers will receive their MTC3 car kit, what will be included in case of top deck, sway bar, springs and other parts which are interesting?
It has already a very good configuration for basic asphalt tracks.
Okay.
There's like a 4.25 and 4.5 springs, which is a bit harder than what we use on carpet. Therefore, you can get some more springs, 4.75 or 4.75p, which is progressive springs. And also interesting is, especially for someone who didn't have a Mugen before, the higher number means actually the spring is softer because it's the amount of coils. So if you lose the print or you're not sure which springs you have, you can actually count the coils on the spring.
So that means that a 4.0 spring is harder than a 5.0 spring.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This is something especially new Mugen drivers would probably need to get in their head.
Yeah.
Also, there's a sway bar of 1.1 and 1.2 millimeters in the kit. Optional, there's a 1.3, which is I think worth to try and test. Total, there are 3 different top decks available.
Okay.
The soft and the medium ones are in the kit. Optional for even higher conditions, there's a thicker top deck, a 2.5 millimeter available. But also you can try different flex settings with all those kind of top decks. You can cut them. You can cut them even further. You can use less screws, and they're also interchangeable to front and rear. Ah,
okay. So you can move the front top deck to the rear and vice versa. It's no problem.
For example, there's the soft and medium in the kit. You can try. You're supposed to run the soft in the front and the medium in the rear, but you can also reverse them.
Some of the suspension parts, they also look like they are the same, like the upper arms or the uprights. So is that the same part all around the car?
Yeah, similar to the MTC2. All 4 hubs are the same, so you don't need to. If you want to get some spare, you don't have to get hubs from a certain area of the car.
Yeah.
You can have you can put them in all 4 areas, and also the upper arms are identical, identical parts, front and rear. So this makes it also pretty convenient.
Yeah, so better for the customer, so you don't have to carry an upper arm for each side of the car with you. You just have to buy it 1 or 2 times, and then you can replace it when something is damaged. When we're talking about option parts, is there something you would recommend customers to get in the first step for the car as well?
I think the first thing I would get would be the caster tool.
Yeah.
The height adjustable caster tool, so it could fit in all different setup stations around, and it's very nice to mount on the hubs. There are M2 screws, therefore which makes for a perfect fit, and this definitely makes sense as one of the first thing to get after having the kit itself.
Yeah, and then you told me something about a different steering arm, which is also available for the car, which is maybe changing some positions of the suspension parts. Is it also something people should get their hands on quickly, or is the standard part also good for the beginning?
Oh, for sure the standard is good, but it's always nice to have something you want to test even further. Yeah. The upper arm will be shorter with the new steering arm, which is called a KPA.
Okay.
There's something definitely also worth to test. We didn't have that option before, but now it's available for the MTC3.
Okay, and last but not least, let's talk about tools. Is there anything a racer needs to buy to work properly on the car, which he maybe has not in his toolbox until now? Which tools would you recommend to work on the car?
I think the standard tools are fine, but a 2mm and 2.5 ball wrench is something which is even more useful on this car.
Okay.
Normally everyone has those already, but it's necessary on certain parts, which makes it definitely easier, and something I would suggest.
Okay. Yeah, and when I get the car kit on the table and I will start to build it, I need to download the manual. That's correct, because it's on the Mugen Seiki website as a PDF document.
Yes, there's a very nice detailed manual. Explains a lot, and definitely also an upgrade to the former manuals from the MTC2.
Yeah.
And additionally, there are 2 more files which explains even more details on the car, and some more useful help for setups in general.
So you can basically learn about the car and setting up the car while building it. When you have these 2 documents available, it's the quick setup guide, I think, and also kind of a parts list and explanations about general settings on touring cars. So
exactly, it's a useful help. But also one new feature we have on the car is the up travel limit.
Yeah.
We used to limit sometimes our shock travel with O-rings or shims on the MTC2, but therefore we can limit the travel on the parts of the body post on the rear.
Yeah.
Or there's a part from the front bumper, and practically for the front, if you reduce the up travel, it tends to feel like more corner speed and more easy to drive, especially if you're looking for corner speed. And for the rear, it's really useful on bumpy tracks, also for high speed, that the car is less bottoming out. So those are really nice and interesting new features, which we also have in the setup sheet, which will be available soon. Also, you can see the value there.
Okay, so many informations in this video. We have talked about all or most of all the new features on the car, from the suspension over the drivetrain, the chassis, the shock package. So everything is quite new on the MTC3 from Mugen Seiki. There's a lot to learn for the customers, many new settings, but it should be a great experience for everybody to build the car. How was your time now with the car, working on the car, driving on track? What is the car feeling on track? What is the difference to the old one?
The difference is basically it's very easy to drive, very easy to handle, super fast, and I can't wait to explore with a lot of more people and drivers to explore what Robert Peach has designed.
Yeah, so whenever you are building your MTC3 or you have any kind of questions, I think you can contact all of the Mugen Seiki team drivers. Whenever you see the guys trackside, just join them. I think you will also always try to help. Last but not least, we hope that this video was interesting for you, as we try to show you some of the new features of the car, which will be available now very soon. And when you have any kind of questions, just comment below the video. We will try to respond there as well. And that's it for the moment for the new MTC3. Ronald, thank you for talking with us about the new car from Mugen Seiki. And we will see us soon on track and with more informations. I think you will also do some maybe postings on your social media to show some smaller details when building the car or when setting up. You have made any plans to make any content?
Yes, definitely true. Thank you for your time as well. Now this doesn't even show everything from the details, but if you have the car, if you build a car, you will find out how great not only details are, but the whole package will be.
Okay, thanks for watching. We will see us very soon. Goodbye from the Mugen Seiki headquarters, and see us in the next one.